Yeah, they'll know why soon.
Okay. I've got to find it. Okay, Tinder date live show me.
Yes, I'll do that.
Lucy swirled the straw around her glass with a frown of concentration. She shouldn't have arrived this early, but she was bored waiting at home. Besides, the second gin and tonic was calming her, allowing her to think a little more clearly. Still, she still hadn't gotten over the feeling of how degrading she found the process online. The shallowness, the snap judgments, the reassurances from smugly coupled up friends that it was, after all, a numbers game. That while there may be plenty of fish in the sea, it was better to cast a net rather than use a rod. And the rods, the schlongs, the dicks, the cocks, the number of blurry penises she had been subjected to over the past couple of months. Always unsolicited, often arriving while she was at work, where she instinctively opened the message as soon as the phone buzzed. To be confronted by far too much of sus-sensitive guy 22, who claimed on his profile he just wanted a girl he could treat like a princess. Gross. There were always a theme. The unflattering angle, the nest of sweaty pubes, always charmingly offset in an office toilet cubicle. She shuddered. This guy, Matt, he'd been rather nice in his messages. Well, certainly not awful. And the question of whether he could get a picture of her tits because she was home alone and bored had never, ever come up. No, he was almost gentlemanly. Asked how her day was, asked her opinion about things, didn't leave her hanging on replies. And now, a few days later, she was waiting for Matt in a safe but dull Soho bar. Matt Shaw. Mr. Matt Shaw. She rolled the name around in her mouth as she stirred the ice in her drained glass. A thought flashed across her mind, batted away, getting ahead of herself. She ordered another drink. He looked nice in the few photos he had put on his profile. Didn't look like the sort of person that would be late, at least. He had punctual eyes. Blue. Nice, blue, punctual eyes. This must be unusual for him. Maybe something had happened to him, or maybe another unhelpful thought. Dismissed. He wasn't that sort. She glanced at her phone screen. No, he wasn't that sort. One of his pictures showed him reading to the disadvantaged kids at primary school, right? She flicked through his profile again. She wasn't sure what she could really tell from the crafted montage of cropped out mates, thoughtfully book reading on the beach at top of a hike looking out over Concord Hills. It was a typical, I'm definitely not a psycho profile. He read to kids though.
Oh.
It's good with kids. Probably love to have them one day. Too. Take them to the park, play football, ruffle their hair. Catching his eye as he looked over, the smile. Her daydream was broken by the buzz on her phone. Stuck in traffic. Will be 10 more minutes. It put a kiss at the end. Was he the romantic sort? Prone to displays of devotion. She thought through the first few dates to come. The picnic was lovely. The art gallery perhaps a little bit dull, but well-intentioned. The huge bouquet of flowers he'd sent to the office, hideously embarrassing. And she'd been teased mercilessly all day, but she hadn't stopped smiling. Lucy nodded, satisfied with this. The new drink arrived. They would move in together quite quickly. It was a whirl over the first few months, almost accidentally agreeing that since they spent so much time together at each other's places, why didn't they just So they found themselves combining crockery and spending Sundays in IKEA together. She'll enjoy those first few months so much. She loved discovering the little quirks and habits of that person that make a person so charming. But Matt hadn't given any clues of his failings so far. She scrolled back through his messages. They had messaged a lot. He would text her a couple of times a day, said he hadn't ever found someone he enjoyed chatting with so much, which she supposed was quite sweet. The first argument, though, he'll have a bad day at work, he'll come home and will have forgotten, or did she forget to remind him? She wasn't quite sure, that Lucy was out with some friends that evening. And it would turn into a late one, and she'd have 6 missed calls and 8 forced cheerful, "Are you okay, babes?" when she fished her phone out of her bag in the taxi on the way home. It'd be horribly passive-aggressive for the next day, and it will boil over that evening. Lucy, just post-hangover, would snap at him for something. Probably "Don't call me babe," perhaps. It would all kick off. The next 12 hours would be cold, a thaw coming over dinner, conciliatory text messages sent at work, and a meal at one of their usual places, and some significantly disappointing makeup sex. But there'll be something lurking over the relationship after that, something just out of the corner of Lucy's eye that will make her shrug out of his embrace every so often. The phone buzzed. 5 minutes, sorry. Smiley face kiss. He did text a lot, didn't he? 8 months in, he'd still be doing it. A thrice daily checkup, still waiting when she got out. Lucy's shoulders tightened at the thought. God, she would need some space. The holiday they have coming up, just a weekend away, nothing too grand, suddenly daunted her. 3 days suddenly seemed like such a long time to endure his always being there. Lucy's gin and tonic thumped hard onto the table, and she smiled apologetically at the waiter's alarm. She could see friends sat around the table, each assuring her that Matt was fine, each with an unspoken but. One evening she'll suggest to Matt to go to Hanoi all on his own, that she'll stay and do her own thing. It won't go down well. He'll shout more than she expected. He'll say he was worried and angry and disappointed, confused and hurt, that all he'd ever done was try to do everything for her. She would scream! Lucy gasped in air, her hands tightening around the glass. This was a bad idea. She saw that now. She stood up and dropped money on the table for the drinks. Why would she ever start down that path? As she strode towards the door, Matt arrived. "Lucy, finally, She held up her hand and cut him off. "Oh, Matt, I just need some space." She pushed past him onto the streets.
Okay. Thank you, Angus Gallagher. That was awesome. There are no doubts. There are no doubts that piece was meant for you.
Of course.